Hello, the internet. I'm Dr. Peter Allen, bioanalytical chemist. Today we're diving into the world of longevity research, examining the experiments that justify the use of nicotinamide mononucleotide and nicotinamide riboside. I'm going to call those NMN and NR for short. There's buzz about them on the internet and in the scientific literature. I see some ads, I see sponsored studies. The big question is, are these pills worth the money? Will they buy a human a few extra youthful years? Or is it just an unregulated supplement cash grab? Now, I'm over 40. I want to keep my health as long as possible. If the aging rate could be slowed a little bit, well, then I could reap some real benefits over the long term. So I'm interested. Maybe you're in a similar situation. You want to keep your health as long as you can. So why would we bother with these supplements? Well, point one, nicotinamide riboside, NR, and nicotinamide mononucleotide, NMN, do extend life in mice. Take a look at this graph. This is known as a Kaplan-Meier curve, or KM curve for short. It's a graph of survival over time, meaning that as the line goes down, more mice have died. These curves show up all the time in biomedical research. KM curves help to present the effectiveness of new treatments. So in this case, you might start with 100 mice. They're all aging naturally. Over time, more mice succumb to age and die. Now contrast that with 100 more mice. If the supplement does something, then over time you should see a significant gap in the survival curves. Treated mice live longer. Almost nothing is 100% effective. This is not like the golden age of penicillin. Back in the day, before drug-resistant bacteria evolved, it was a binary. Penicillin means survival, no penicillin, no survival. KM curves for a treatment like that would look like this in 1955. It'd just be flat line versus sharp curve. You don't even really need to draw the curve for that. If a drug is useless, the KM curves look like this. Treated group looks the same, maybe even worse than the untreated group. But those are the extremes. Works perfectly, doesn't work at all. But if it's a little more subtle, if more like most treatments, it's not so easily evaluated, the KM curve could be really important. What about these supplements? Well, these are more subtle. That's a modest benefit. The treated mice got a little boost. They did not achieve immortality. They didn't even double their lifespan, but it's better than nothing. The average mouse lived maybe a month longer. But that's pretty significant for mice. They only live about 3 years. If that scaled up to people and people got the same benefit, it might be like a person getting 6 more years of life. Now, of course, that's the big question, right? Does it apply the same way in humans? Here's another KM curve, but this one is for calorie restriction in monkeys. Basically, scientists have found that restricting calories tends to extend lifespan. They measured whether monkey lifespan changed when they were on a very restricted diet versus when they could eat whenever they want. Low-calorie diet made a big difference. But look how long it took to run that experiment. It took more than 30 years. It would take even longer to get similar results in people. And that's what we want. We want a KM curve that shows that NMN extends life in people. But we're not going to get that till 2040 or 2060. And I don't want to wait that long. So we're going to have to do some science to ask if it's likely that NMN or NR will do the same thing in people that it does in mice. Point two. We think we know how it works in mice, and we think it does the same in people. This is NAD+. This is one of the big molecular heroes in our body's energy production. It's like maybe the spark plug of the cell's combustion engine. It helps make the reaction happen when we burn our calories. As we age, the spark plug fizzles out. It's easily as important as the other famous molecules you may have heard of, like vitamin C or ATP. NAD+ is part of how cells, mouse cells, human cells, basically all creatures, process food into energy. We build NAD+ out of NR or NMN. They're precursors for this important molecule. So there's the theory. If you eat NR or NMN supplements, they should inspire your cells to replace the worn down NAD+ spark plugs. It's plausible that they might have a benefit in people because it does seem that they raise NAD+ levels. So check out this paper. NMN and NR do raise NAD+ inside human cells. That's promising, but it's not just about whether the supplements increase NAD+ levels, whether the NAD+ is in fact a key driver of aging, and this is still a bit unknown. It's reasonable. NAD+ levels go down with age, and some longevity-related proteins called sirtuins need NAD+. So it makes sense. Raising NAD+ should extend life. It does in mice, it might in people. We just don't know for sure. At least we can say that so far the data indicate that both of these molecules, NR and NMN, are safe for human consumption until there's more data that proves otherwise. In the meantime, we still have to assess that risk. Maybe make an informed bet and keep learning. Okay, point three. How do we weigh the risk of Entity Plus supplements? Life's all about risks and rewards, and those supplements are no exception. Door number one, you shell out money for supplements. You definitely are out your dough, and then maybe you get a few extra healthy years, or maybe you just get some side effects like dry mouth or upset stomach. Door number two, you save that money, but you risk missing out on those potential benefits of extra years of health and life. So today I'm choosing door number one, despite the uncertainties, because the benefits potentially outweigh those minor risks and costs for me. The downsides are pretty small. NR and NMN are related to vitamin B3. They're generally recognized as safe by regulatory authorities. Side effects seem to be minimal. Long-term effects of supplements are still being studied though, and there's always the risk of people having some rare response like an allergy or sensitivity. We have to make our decisions not having a perfect set of information. And our bodies are complex and we're all different. But evidence suggests that the risks are small. So, based on all this, I made this silly comic. Mouse says, life is so full of big choices, and there's parental expectations and societal pressures, and I have a lot of anxiety because who even knows what the full consequences might be? We zoom out, and there's Mouse 2, and he says, sir, this is Mouse Wendy's. To sum up, NR and NMN are intriguing guests at the longevity party. They might slow aging, they might buy us a few more golden years. The results from mice are promising, but these supplements are not fully vetted by the FDA, and none of these claims are fully established in the scientific literature. Talk to your doctor before you add new supplements to your routine, and remember, scientific knowledge is always expanding. These types of molecules are just the beginning. They're not designer drugs that we made specifically to fight aging. They're just supplements that have a subtle, if small, effect. There are exciting projects in the works, and I hope that a longevity breakthrough is coming. As longevity science advances, I'm going to keep making more videos here, and if something comes up suggesting that these supplements are useless or harmful, I will make a new video to update. So stay tuned for that. We're in this aging journey together. Nobody gets out alive. If you're interested in longevity, check out my video on something even more outlandish, parabiosis, or in simpler terms, can you inject yourself with the blood of the young to rejuvenate your body? Probably not. Thanks for watching. Hit that usual button that you like. Check out the description or head over to peterallenlab.com for all the references.